Hello, and welcome to week 2 of Educational Research for Effective Teaching. First, I would like to thank you for your active engagement in week 1's activities. This course can be a little overwhelming, but I can see that you are really working hard to be successful. Are you getting excited about researching something that will impact your teaching? I hope that you are. Prior to this course, some of you may have thought of a research paper as a collection of articles related to a particular topic that you somehow pull together and put into a paper. However, a true research project is one where you're seeking answers to questions through a qualitative or quantitative research process. You may choose to compare teaching styles to see which is more effective, or you may want to conduct a small pilot study. You may even plan to craft a research proposal that you will develop more fully in the future. All of those are options for you. Chapter 4 describes the intricacies of a review of the literature. A literature review can be time-consuming and demanding, so be sure and set aside time this week and plan very carefully. You may want to start with keywords and then check the databases to gather all of your information. Review the time-saving ways that you can locate literature related to your topic. Keep track from the beginning of all your sources. You will need to locate a substantial amount of literature in order to have at least the 10 creditable references required. Place your research in the context of what has already been done on the topic. Review the methodologies used in the various studies. Be sure you select creditable, peer-reviewed journal articles for your review. Avoid just Googling on the internet. Although Google Scholar may be all right, something like Wikipedia is not an appropriate source. After you have selected and collected all of the literature you want to use in your study, you may want to put it together in either a general to specific format or even a chronological fashion. Use a method that makes the most sense for your study. However, create that review of literature so that anyone that picks up your study can see what you're trying to accomplish. Also remember to use direct quotes very sparingly within your review of literature. When you paraphrase, double-check to make sure that you're being true to the author's opinions. Remember to use your own words, summarize, and synthesize. Nothing should be included in the review of literature that is not cited in both the body and listed in the references. When you have crafted that and put it all together, please review the sentence structure, grammar, spelling, punctuation, and then revise if necessary. Although you may modify your review of literature before the final research project is completed, each week does require submission of some part of your research proposal. If you're conducting quantitative research, you will also form a hypothesis that answers your research question. A hypothesis explains what you think will happen. Chapter 5 is a very detailed chapter on developing hypotheses. Remember that qualitative studies require no hypothesis, at least in the beginning. Review the characteristics of a usable hypothesis in your text on pages 86 through 90. Of course, your hypothesis should be testable, consistent with the existing body of knowledge, and stated as simply and concisely as possible. You may want to review the questions at the end of Chapter 5 to get a better feel for how to develop your hypothesis. I really am looking forward to reading your review of literature. I know this week is intense, and I do appreciate your carving out time to do a good job. God bless you this week, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.